show and share our results and also the lessons that we learned with the implementation of this project. The project is implemented by a consortium formed by CIH at the LMU in Munich, together with 4 universities in Latin America: Universidad San Francisco Javier de Chuquisaca in Bolivia, Universidade Federal do Paraná in Brazil, Universidad de O'Higgins in Chile, and Universidad San Carlos de Guatemala in Guatemala. And it started in 2022, and now we are in the last activities of the project. Next, please. Next slide. Thank you very much. Our project team is conformed by many researchers and professionals from many disciplines, including medical doctors, veterinarians, biologists, sociologists, environmental engineers, and others. But now a representative for each country is going to share their experience in implementing the project in these countries. Carlos Vázquez, a biologist, is going to share the experience in Guatemala. Pilar Mancilla, sociologist, the experiences in Chile. Marcia Adler in Bolivia. And Denise Carvalho in Brazil. I think there is someone with the microphone open.
Yes, sorry. Can everybody please mute themselves whilst we are listening to the great presentation? Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. I get distracted very easy.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. But also in this team is Caroline Kuhn, who is helping us with the technical support, and also with Katia Radon is helping with the coordination in Munich at CIH. Now, please, the next. Well, as you know, globally, we are facing several challenges. On the one hand, climate change impacts in the environment and also has important effect on the social and economical level too. On the other hand, the reduction of the wildlife due to the deforestation, transformation in land use, urbanization, accelerated population growth, and the consumption of trade of wildlife is conflicting the interaction between animals and people, and it increases the probability of transmission of pathogens between species, generating risk of new diseases. It is estimated that nearly 60% of the emerging diseases are zoonotic diseases, and most of these came from wildlife. Next, please. Thank you. One more. For that reason, and considering the high biodiversity in Latin America that we current treats, we propose to develop a KAP study in order to identify the knowledge, attitude, and practice regarding the risk of zoonotic diseases, trade, and consumption of wildlife in America, in order to propose intervention tailored to the local context that can contribute to promoting better practices, preventing zoonotic diseases, and conserving biodiversity. Next, please. So we worked in 4 countries, Guatemala, Bolivia, Chile, and Brazil, looking for differences and common grounds among urban, rural, and indigenous communities, but also looking for difference according to age group, because we think that the intervention must be different in considering these characteristics. Next, please. So we propose a 5-work package. I will explain each one in more detail shortly. But in summary, the first 2 are looking for a situational analysis using mixed methods. After that, we discuss with local actors and community representatives future actions to address the problem identified. And finally, we are implementing intervention to address those problems. Next. In work package 1, we used a quantitative approach. We applied face-to-face surveys to a representative sample of the study population, urban, rural, and indigenous communities, and also different age group, adolescents, adult, and old people. Next. In work package 2, we used a qualitative approach in order to go in deep in relation with conflicts, barriers, and facilitators. We performed in-depth interviews to local authorities, health personnel, traditional healers, some academics or NGO representatives, but also we developed some focus group discussions. Next. After that, we organized roundtable discussions with authorities, organizations, and the community, and we analyzed the result, identifying problems, we prioritized them, and jointly planned intervention to address those problems. Next. And now, at this moment, we are moving forward with the work package 4. Most of the intervention planned are focused on teaching intervention and developing educational materials, which are going to be evaluated considering the content, the design, and also taking in account social consideration. But also we are working and supporting different local initiatives, articulating the different sectors. We are working with the health sector, education, productive development sector, and other initiatives. Next. We also are organizing and participating in events at local, regional, and international level like this, but also considering different audiences and formats. Next. And briefly, I want to show you some overview of the preliminary results. Next. In our survey, we have information almost of 3,000 of participants. We developed more or less 60 in-depth interviews and 24 focus groups. And now we are just starting to analyze and compare the results between countries. So we have a lot of work because it's a lot of information. Next. But in general, we found low knowledge about zoonotic and some risky practice. For example, animal close to the food of person or sharing water to drink with animals, and also low adherence to some regulations. Also, we identify some conflicts between wild animals and humans, especially related with agricultural livestock productions. Also, the people expressed a need and interest in learning about preserving wildlife, preventing zoonosis. Also, we found a little coordination between sectors that we decide to work in some of these aspects. Next, please. And for that reason, our actions are focused on specific topics and strategies that were different in each country, as we are going to see. We gave special attention to adapting the materials and all the intervention at the local context. So in this way, the people feel the materials as their own. They take care of them and use them. That it is the most important. Next one. And it is the last. For example, in some drawing, as you can see, for example, in Bolivia, we adapt the dressing of the people, the clothing, and the landscape according to the area. So the people feel this material like their own. And also we are adapting the communication media to target the specific groups. Thank you for my side. And now I'm going to pass the microphone to Marcia in Bolivia, who is going to tell us the experience in Bolivia. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria Teresa. And I think we forgot to mention that, of course, if you have questions, we wanted to have like a small space after each country presentation to ask questions directly. And you can do so either by posting your questions and comments into the chat or by raising your hand. And then there will be also the opportunity to engage with the presenters after the presentations, of course. Okay, thank you. Now moving on. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Marcia?
Okay, good morning and good afternoon to everyone. I don't know if you have my presentation there. Oh. Well, first of all, can everyone hear me and see me?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so again, hi to everyone. Good morning and afternoon, depending where you are. My name is Marcia, and as they have already shortly introduced me, I'm a biologist and I'm part of the KAP team from Bolivia. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about our experience with the project. Next one, please. Okay. Well, so first, so that everyone has a better understanding, I want to tell you a little bit of the background about the study site and also the project itself. Next one, please. So the project was carried out in the municipality of Presto, located in the north of the Chuquisaca department in Bolivia. So due to the elevation range of the municipality, that is between 1,000 and 2,500 meters above sea level, the temperature can vary significantly, but it's mostly temperate and warm. The municipality has approximately 2,000 inhabitants, and they are distributed across like 33 communities. Those are the red dots that you can see in the map. Presto is the capital. It's the biggest community. It has around 3,500 inhabitants, and that's the community that was our urban area. Tomoroko and Paso Paya were considered the rural area, and the communities that you see in the green area, that they are in a national park, they were all, well, the communities we have to visit as part of the protected area. So next one, please. So now I want to tell you a little bit more about the protected area, and while I do so, I will show you a very short video so that you have some images about the protected area. I don't know if the videos can work. No. Perfect. Yeah, so the official name of the protected area is an Integrated Management Natural Area El Palmar. So this means that there are people that live there and they can use some of the resources of the area, but just in a moderate way. El Palmar is a quite big area. It has approximately 600 square kilometers, and it's mostly mesothermal dry valleys, but it has also some parts of humid forest. And one of the trademarks of Presto is the hanchicoco. This is an endemic palm tree, and the fruit of this palm tree is used to make a very unique drink and some cookies and other pastry that is very typical from from this area. And the region is also home from many other plants and animals, including a few threatened species like the jucumari, that is the spectacle bear, and the condor. Perfect timing. Next one, please. I think it's not working. Great. Yeah. So sadly, there are some occasional conflicts between wildlife and people, especially in this area, in the national park and the rural area. And these conflicts have led to the death of some of these threatened species. Like last year, there were two very ugly incidents when a jucumari, this spectacle bear, was killed because it was too near from a village, and 5 condors were found dead because they were poisoned, but from some poison that wasn't really meant for them, but they ate it anyway. So it was very, very sad. And next one, please. A little bit about the culture. Presto is very diverse, a culturally diverse area. They have a lot of Quechua traditions and beliefs, so there's a lot of this Quechua culture. And of course, Quechua is one of the main languages there, together with Spanish. The economy is based in agriculture, mostly family farming that is based in sheep and goats, and in a smaller scale pigs and poultry. They don't have so much trade, it's most locally, and although they have this beautiful natural park, there is not much tourism, although they want to make it grow, but it's still small. And big part of the population in Presto are considered poor, and they have so basic living condition. This is very alarming because Presto is also considered one of the hotspots from the Chagas disease. Next one, please. Yeah, okay, so that was a little bit about Presto. And now I want to give you some general background information about the project. Next one. As Teresa already said, the project started in 2022, but the implementation, so all the planning organizations and the first field trips started like in mid of the year. And we first of all tried to create as many and different instances for socialization of the project, so that so many people as possible knew about the project or have at least heard about it. So we organized a lot of meetings and seeking to bring together very different stakeholders and authorities and key persons to engage them with the project. So we have meetings, for example, with the director and park rangers from El Palmar, the education sector, the health sector, community leaders, and many others. And we also establish connection with the local people. For example, the interviewers were local people that we trained and we hired to do the interviews, but not the interviews, the surveys. And we also counted with local people from the on-site organization for the meeting, so to do the snacks for the meetings and everything. So we try to engage as many people as possible. Next one, please. And well, as in any project, we have faced some challenges, some greater than others, but I think everything was manageable in the end. Next one, please. So we had some challenges dealing with the authorities. It was sometimes hard to have the authorities and some of the institutions' attention, in the sense that it was they had other duties and appointments, and we were not always a priority. So it was sometimes necessary to work in parallel with various of these authorities. So to have the same meetings many times, and yeah, this also led to sometimes have to cancel a meeting, and well, that was sometimes a bit complex. And also very hard was the constant change of authorities, because this frequent change also can significatively slow our progress, since the information was not always transferred in a good way from the old authorities to the new authorities. So we had to like start over every time there was one of these changes. And with people, the biggest problem or the biggest challenge we had is that there was a level of distrust and skepticism, especially among the elderly people, this by the surveys. So they didn't want to, for example, they didn't want to sign the consent letter, or they thought it was something political, and they didn't want to always make the survey. And although the people that were making the survey were local, and most of them knew Quechua, sometimes the language, so from elderly people that only speak Quechua, was sometimes also a challenge. Also, the accessibility and logistic was not always easy. Some communities were very far away, and the roads are not always good, and transportation is not frequent. And we have also to face some social political issues that lead to roadblocks and strikes, and that hinder a little bit the accessibility to some of the communities. But well, in the end, it took a little bit longer, but we managed to do everything that was planned. And well, like I said, because we were not always a priority, some meetings have often been postponed or cancelled in a very short notice. Next one, please. Well, but as we say in Spanish, no hay mal que por bien no venga, so there's always a bright side. And from all these challenges, we also could learn a lot of lessons that hopefully are also helpful for other projects. Next one, please. So, for example, the joint planning with the local authorities was crucial to increase their involvement and their engagement in the project. So the participation of as many authorities as possible was very, very important. And it's also relevant for the sustainability of the project, because if they are more involved, then yeah, there is more chances that the project will go on even when we're not going there anymore. It's always important to have patience and to be flexible, to have a plan B and a plan C in case something unexpected happened. And we also learned that it was always better to work with local people. So, they have a valuable insight and they foster more trust with the community. And it also helps to involve more people in the project. Well, as I mentioned, the participation from different sectors like health, community authorities, education, the protected area, that was also very important. This approach ensures that we have a holistic understanding of the issues, and it also prevents that there is any conflict, because we exclude some of the sectors. Also, the organization with key actors, to organize these meetings. I think someone has a microphone open.
Yes, sorry, I muted that participant. Keep going. Thank you.
Yeah, organizing these participatory meetings with the key actors from the different sectors and community leaders, both within and outside the protected area, is also essential. These meetings ensure that the development of the materials that we developed, for example, based on the results, that they have a valuable local perspective and context. And and finally, at the moment of analyzing our results, the implementation of quantitative and qualitative methodologies was very useful. It allowed us to go deeper into the information, and whether it was focused on the interviews with the stakeholders or in the focus groups. Next one, please. So what we think were the impacts of the study, at least what we can solve that was important. Next one, please. Was we think that what we accomplished with this project was in a way to enhance the institutional communication, and at least in some topics and what was related with the project. So we facilitate a better articulation and communication between various of the institutions and authorities. For example, to work with some of the products that we have, like the update of the regulation of animal ownership, and also the organization of a canine sterilization campaign. And to do this, different institutions and authorities have to coordinate and work together. And this also make that the study could increase a little bit more the importance of zoonotic diseases. Also, the findings of the study informed that there was a lack of knowledge in zoonotic diseases, especially among younger people. So we promote a change in the education content, ensuring that it was adapted to the regional context and it was approved by teachers and by other authorities. And this you can see in the left side, we try to make some educational material for the schools so that they have in their curricula some topics about zoonotic diseases, ownership of different animals, conservation, and also the contamination of water. That was a very important topic in the region. Yeah, so we also did some more fun activities like painting walls to also have more present the ideas that we were trying to express in the project. And yeah, so this is where our most of our challenge and the lessons that we learned. And yeah, that's from my side. So thank you very much. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you very much, Asia. Great. Already learned a lot. And thank you also for sharing the beautiful video. And now we hand over to the next speaker. I don't know which order you prefer, which country will be up next. And please keep in mind the time. We have allotted 10 minutes each.
No worries. Maybe we can continue with Brazil, Denise.
Okay. Good morning and good afternoon to everyone. My name is Denise Carvalho, and I'm responsible for the activities of the KAP project in Paraná, Brazil. We are pleased to participate in this innovative and significant project in our region, mainly because it involves traditional and remote communities. And in particular, because it deals also with a topic that is rarely discussed and is of such importance in the most susceptible areas of our country. For the development of the project, we always received support from the project partners in other countries, the International Health Center of LMU, and the Alliance Group. We are pleased to present a brief video of our journey in carrying out the project and the results obtained so far. So I'll present it now, and later on we will be available for more details at the end. Thank you. I'm going to present, so I hope it works. Okay.
Also, Caroline, I think she's ready to present.
Caroline, do you share? Okay. Yes. Okay.
Welcome to the video presentation of the KAP Project Brazil. Knowledge, Attitude and Practice in Wildlife Conservation and Health, which in Brazil was called Risk Behavior for Zoonoses and Populations Residents in the Atlantic Forest Biome in Paraná. The Federal University of Paraná, located in Curitiba, coordinates the project's actions in Brazil, a region rich in biodiversity and with traditional communities living in the Atlantic Forest. Our goal is to identify knowledge, attitudes, practices related to the risk of zoonotic diseases, wildlife trade, and consumption in rural and urban communities, including indigenous and quilombola communities. Professors, students, and researchers from the university from different areas participate in the project, such as medicine, dentistry, biology, veterinary, nursing, pharmacy, nutrition, occupational therapy, geography, law, graphic arts, graphic expression, and other interested parties. Quilombola communities in Adrianopolis. The city of Adrianopolis, located in the southeast of Paraná, comprises several quilombola communities, such as João Sura, São João, Carrego do Franco, Carrego das Mocas, and Barro Roques. Quilombola is the term used to refer to the members of groups formed by descendants of individuals who were enslaved and managed to escape from prisons and slave barracks during the colonial period of Brazil, 19th century. To implement research in Adrianopolis, we held meetings with the City Hall and the Ministries of Health and Environment, selected local leaders and interviewers, and trained the team to apply questionnaires. Caicaras from Paranagua were residents of Colonia Maria Luisa and a small community on Ilha do Mel. Caicaras are inhabitants of the coastal regions of Brazil and come from a mixture of indigenous peoples, Portuguese colonizers, and African slaves. In Paranagua, the Caicara community, in addition to its proximity to the wild natural environment, also faces two important health and quality of life challenges related to tourism and being a port city. Peri-urban population of the Colonia Castellanos in São José dos Pinhais. The Colonia Castellanos, a peri-urban community in the mountain coast, stands out for its rich biodiversity and culture, living from fruit cultivation and ecological tourism. Approximately 400 people currently live in the community, which was initially settled by indigenous people and then by European immigrants. In all these communities, we administered household and individual questionnaires to determine socio-demographic characteristics and understand the relationship of these communities with the environment and their knowledge, attitudes, and practices regarding wildlife. A total of 624 household interviews were carried out, with 341 people among Quilombolas, 132 among Caicaras, and 151 residents in Colonia Castellanos, where we identified their knowledge and practices regarding the risks of zoonoses. We also conducted interviews with key community informants to complement the information and organized focus group dynamics between different age groups to deepen communities' knowledge about fauna preservation, identification, and categorization of domestic and wild animals present in the area and potential risks associated. Subsequently, we validated the research results with the three communities and discussed them with specialists to ensure the accuracy and relevance of the collected information. We prepared intervention materials for all age groups, including board games, card games, activity books, calendars, and leaflets about One Health. And we organized an event in each community to publicize the project within the community, with the participation of education and health professionals. The research conducted in the communities of Adrianopolis, Paranagua, and Castellanos highlights the complexity of the interactions between human, animal, and environmental health, especially in the context of zoonoses. Adrianopolis stands out for its risk of zoonoses due to its proximity to the Atlantic forest. The Quilombola community demonstrated a high awareness of the risks of zoonotic and anthropozoonotic disease transmission. In Paranagua, key informants described the main risks associated with human-animal interaction in the region, such as consumption, hunting, and direct contact with various local species. They emphasized the importance of education and information about potential risks, despite the community's awareness of these risks. Castellanos presents a scenario where agriculture and banana trade are predominant economic activities, putting the community in constant contact with domestic and wild animals. The frequent presence of animals such as bats, birds, and rodents in the region significantly increases the risk of zoonotic disease transmission. In conclusion, the strategies proposed in these communities aim not only at the prevention and control of zoonotic diseases, but also at promoting an integrated One Health approach. The KAP project presented several positive aspects that highlight its relevance and effectiveness. Community engagement: the communities actively participated in the activities, contributing their local knowledge. Broad participation: professionals from various fields collaborated, enriching multidisciplinary approaches. Community validation: the results were validated with the communities, increasing the trust and relevance of the collected information. Development of educational materials. However, challenges such as the difficulty of implementation in remote areas and resistance to change can impact the effectiveness of interventions. In some communities, we encountered limitations in accessing detailed information due to the economic and social profile. Geographic and structural conditions presented challenges during fieldwork. It was necessary to adapt educational materials to ensure relevance and proper understanding in different cultures. Significant health risks due to contact with wild and domestic animals were also identified.
É uma parceria, educação e saúde. Eu acho muito importante, porque nossas crianças, né, são os nossos maiores, eu sempre falo, são nossos maiores multiplicadores. O que eles aprendem aqui, se envolvem, eles levam para casa, eles levam para a comunidade, assim por diante. Então, assim, parcerias são fundamentais, né, para o andamento do município no geral, né?
Hoje foi um dia muito significativo aqui para a Escola João Gonçalves. Recebemos a visita de vários profissionais, professores da Universidade Federal do Paraná e eles trouxeram alguns materiais, alguns jogos e as crianças gostaram muito, estão vivenciando nesse momento aqui no nosso ginásio e com isso, nessas brincadeiras de forma lúdica, eles também vão aprendendo sobre como prevenir doenças e como também amenizar algumas possibilidades que elas acontecerem em seus lares.
Esse projeto tem tudo para dar certo aí e as ramificações que sejam produtivas para o futuro da comunidade do castelhano e de outras comunidades do país aí.
E ver hoje um projeto desse dentro da escola é muito gratificante, pois a interação das crianças com a natureza aqui é maior. Nós estamos num espaço onde tem muitos animais, muita natureza, e eles precisam desse conhecimento, pois para questões de saúde.
Olá, eu sou da Viele, sou médica ginecologista aqui da Unidade Maria Luísa. Hoje eu assisti uma palestra desse projeto lindo, que eu me encantei e achei muito bacana, principalmente essa questão de ter o projeto ser separado até por questões de idade, né? Então, ser lúdico, a gente jogou aqui, fez um jogo junto e teve uma dinâmica muito legal que a gente conseguiu aprender, inclusive eu aprendi várias coisas que eu não sabia, com esses jogos que tem para pequenininho, tem para 5 anos, tem para jovem, tem material para adulto, material que fica na unidade de saúde, material que vai ficar na região, na escola. Então eu fiquei muito feliz, achei isso mega importante e o pessoal todo está de parabéns.
Então eu comecei a fazer parte do projeto a partir do momento que vieram até mim, fizeram a proposta de como seria o projeto, seria o andamento do projeto. Primeiro as entrevistas, depois um trabalho tendo contato com a comunidade e até chegar na parte final que chegou hoje. As crianças gostaram bastante e as crianças repassam para os pais e eu acho que vai ter um resultado bem interessante. E eu espero que o projeto continue.
Recebemos hoje da Universidade Federal o resultado de uma pesquisa em que saúde e educação, mais uma vez, a gente pode ludicamente receber as possibilidades junto às unidades básicas de saúde para os responsáveis e as crianças, pensar, conhecer e também fazer a prevenção de doenças. Hoje a gente recebe com muita alegria esse material e também será a possibilidade de a gente reproduzir a outras instituições. Então é um presente que a gente ganha e fica muito feliz nessa tarde.
The project integrates with various ongoing projects like the One Health Workshop, which brought together professors, researchers, and students from UFPR and various nationalities. The workshop presented us with several projects that are being developed. With the implementation of this project, new opportunities arise for the development of other projects in local and national partnerships, such as with the International Center for Health at LMU. As a future perspective, the creation of a One Health Center at UFPR is planned, with partnerships with municipalities such as São José dos Pinhais, Adrianopolis, Paranagua, and potential municipalities like Guaraquecaba, Moritz, and Antonina. Also, the development of a One Health graduate program. With the support of local communities, academic and institutional partners, UFPR is committed to continuing to develop innovative solutions for public health challenges.
Great, thank you so much for sharing the video. Very interesting also to have many testimonials. I don't know, Denise, if you want to share something else. I think we're running a bit short on time. So,
No,
okay.
I think the presentation of the video bring all the information we wanted to share. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I can see already people connecting in the chat, especially to the presenters. If you could post your email addresses, please. And if you have any websites that the participants can click on for further information or to watch the videos if they are uploaded on some sites or whatever, that would be great. Let's continue. I don't know, Maria Teresa, which country will be up next, and please be wary that you only have 10 minutes of presentation time.
Thank you, thank you. We can continue with Chile. Pilar, please.
Perfect.
Good morning and good afternoon to all. I also prepare with the team a video. So please, Caroline, share the video. In Chile, work was carried out in the O'Higgins region in the central south area of Chile, including mountain, valley, and coast communities. This region has a Mediterranean climate with extreme summer and winter. Wildlife in the area include vizcachas, culpeo foxes, Chilean pumas, tricahue parrots, and common ducks. In this region, the University of O'Higgins conducting wildlife studies and intervention with livestock farmers due to the conflict between livestock, wildlife, and the risk of zoonosis. The area also faced some problems related to the drought and fire risk. The Institute of Agri-Food, Livestock and Environmental Science was researched within an area research and work with is made of faculties from the health, veterinary, and the agricultural areas. Professionals in social science, such as sociology, geography, tourism, livestock, and students from health, veterinary, and pedagogy. Initially, the project was socialized in different instances with both authorities and people from the communities. Fieldwork for diagnostic stage. Main difficulties and challenge. Clientelism with companies in the area. Companies in the area are constantly developing social responsibility activities in the community was learned to
Sorry, Carolina, I don't know if you could press pause a second. It's just that the video, could you?
Yeah, I was wondering if it was my internet, but I think it's the video, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit hard to follow because it's the connection is not very, I don't know, or the video is kind of not very, like it's not coming through very smoothly, and it's difficult to understand what is being said, and that's very sad because the information is very valuable. So I don't know.
I can speak.
Yeah, if you could, that would be amazing.
If you, Caroline, put no audio in the video, and I can speak over the video and put the video again on the background, please.
Sure, of course. Shall I start from the beginning again? Or where did it stop?
I think I can talk from this moment.
Okay.
One
second. Yes, okay.
Okay, thank you. The main problems and difficulties was the clientelism of the people from the big companies who work with their communities, and they also do great things like field for sports or schools. So they are expecting retribution with everything. And other problems are the distrust for the idea of violence and crime. And other problem was the aviar pandemia with aviar flu, and they don't want to go to their homes for think that we are doing some fiscalization. So they stop to open the doors from the interviewers. So we have to make strategies to we can go to the fieldwork, and we go in big groups to the people, and we also communicate from the different authorities and people from they expecting us when we go, and also have to be a little present, like highlighters, pencils, bracelet, or they can want to answer our questions and go to our activities. The other part was the working table. The working table is important because different representatives from different areas, from the public and private people, analysis our results, and we work with, you can see in the video, we work with panels and the people in the table about the results of the fieldwork, and we can prioritizing different topics more important for the project. In this way, we do it a project involving all the people who work with us, and we can planificate the strategies. And the strategies are mainly renovate the zoonotic table in the communities that exists before, but doesn't work in the time. So we redo it. The working table from zoonosis. This is a good topic. The second was doing new material for the people, more renovated about zoonosis, about responsible ownership for the pets, and zoonosis, and other problems we can detect in the project. Finally, the learnings was principally do it with the people, with the communities, the work, and principle is reinforce the educational work.
Thank you, Pilar. Thank you very much. We prepared the video to don't have this the technical problems, but thank you, Pilar, because you did really well. And maybe we can continue with the last country, that it is Guatemala. Carlos Vasquez, are you there? You are muted.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for inviting me to this presentation. I'm here. Sorry, because I was having a little problems with the computer and the internet is not so good. The rainy this time in Guatemala is terrible, terrible. My house is without electricity 2 days ago, and it still is like that. And that it's it. I'm in the office, but the internet is not so good. We'll try to do this. We prepare a video to share you all the information about the project and the implementation here in Guatemala. I think maybe Caroline would help me with this.
Yes, I think it should work again now. So I can try to share the video. And if it should not work, please let me know.
Okay, thank you, Caroline.
KAP Wildlife Guatemala. With this project, we identify knowledge, attitudes, and practice regarding the risk of zoonotic disease, trade, and consumption of wildlife in different populations living in urban and rural areas, including some indigenous communities. Basing on the results, we developed some educational strategies according to the context and focused on communities to co-construct behavior change approach, creating awareness and thus changing the behavior of the population. The project focused on the Lachua ecoregion, a vast area of tropical wetlands. It is one of the most biodiverse regions in Guatemala, inhabited by many endangered wildlife species. It includes species such as jaguar, the tapir, the anteater, the Sarawak monkey, as well as various species of fishes, reptiles, and insects. In this area, there are 49 Mayan Quechua indigenous communities, who is part of the Guatemala team. In Guatemala, the project was developed by 3 interviewees of the Quechua ethnic group from the Santa Lucia Lachua community. 2 biology student research assistants, a graphic designer to develop materials, and an educator who supports from the USAC Botanical Garden to promote interventions at the community level, and Dr. Carlos Vasquez as a principal investigator of the project. We have the support of science teacher Carolina Guzman, who is the coordinator of the Toxicological Information Center and Zoa Saltra Center of the USAC School of Pharmaceutical Chemistry. The USAC School of Biology has a research station in the area to support work with communities. What is the context of the communities that participated in the study? In Guatemala, we work in the Lachua ecoregion, located in the department of Alta Verapaz in the north of Guatemala. The communities mostly belong to the Quechua ethnic group and most live in homes that lack the basic services of drinking water and formal drainage. The housing conditions allow wild animals to enter and have contact with their inhabitants. Bats, rodents, birds, snakes, and insects can easily have access to the interior of homes. The communities are located within a region dominated by patches of tropical rainforests, corn crops, and African palm plantations, which creates a rural environment with a lot of exchange of fauna present in the surroundings. The communities are located around the Laguna Lachua National Park, which is a Ramsar wetland of international conservation importance. Traditionally self-sufficient, the Maya Quechua have a subsistence economy based primarily on agriculture and the use of wildlife and other forest products. Wildlife hunting is a multi-purpose ancestral practice that provides quality protein, eliminates problem animals that damage crops, and promotes social cohesion. Currently, these customs have been modified due to the dramatic absence of wildlife and knowledge about the prohibition of hunting and protection of wildlife. What have been the main challenge of working in the communities? The first big challenge was to gain trust with the community members so that they would provide us with information about their home through the questionnaires developed. The second challenge and barrier are language. The communities mostly understand Spanish, but they do not feel comfortable responding and use their Quechua language, which most of the project members do not understand. Finally, access to the communities is complicated since they are located in a region with dirty roads, which is in the rainy season, complicates access due to mud, flooding of roads, and distance that require planning to have time available for the community members. What has facilitated work in the communities? When choosing our work team, we prioritized this region where the biology school has a biological research station and has experience working in the area for the last 15 years. We hired 3 interviewers who are teachers and community health promoters who are accepted among the communities, and the most important thing is that they master the Quechua language, and this made it much easier to obtain information in the surveys, focus groups, and work table. Obtaining the trust and acceptance of the community is the most important thing at the beginning to obtain their participation and information. What learning did the implementation of the project bring us? It is very important to have previous contact with the community to understand and comprehend its vision and acceptance towards people from outside. The language barrier must be taken into account, especially in a multicultural and multilingual country like Guatemala, including community members who are teachers in the communities as part of the work team gave acceptance to the project because it made obtaining information not difficult. Many thanks.
Thank you very much, Carlos. And maybe we let this space to ask for questions or maybe some comments or more information. We try to show different images and perspectives of the countries. So we let the space open.
Yes, absolutely. I just see in the chat so far that there is interest to cooperate and to connect and learn more about opportunities to potentially cooperate. There is a comment on the one video. I mean, all the videos that we were able to see were great, and we really appreciate the great deal of work that flowed into the creation of those videos. I know it's not easy to really obtain the information and the sound and the pictures especially, so very well done. But I agree with the comment in the chat that maybe for next time it would be good to not use like a machine learning voice, but a human voice. It's easier to follow it. Thank you for the suggestion. And other than that, if there's no direct questions right now, I wanted to know, I know we always talk about lesson learned and experiences and challenges, but really what I wanted to know if there were some unexpected challenges that you absolutely were like very surprised by in the 4 countries that you're implementing, that you were like, wow, okay, we definitely did not see this one coming. And if so, how you overcame this. And also I was wondering, I know that working together with communities due to all the reasons that we have just heard is not easy, of course. How are you feeding back the results and the findings from the studies back to the communities? How are they learning about your study results? I open the floor to the presenters who wants to start answering.
Marcia?
Okay, so maybe I will start. So I think we didn't have really any situation that was super unexpected. Maybe the change of authorities that came even earlier that we thought and more often in the authorities from the protected area, for example, where we had to deal in these less than 2 years with 3 different authorities. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of unexpected, but also not so surprising. This happens in Bolivia a lot. And yeah, to share with the community our results, we did first meetings with the authorities, with people we have already been working in the focus groups or in the working tables. And there we explained all the results we had, and based on these results, we discussed with the people from the community also what should we do to give back to the community. So what do they think was more useful for the community? And it was a concern that there was so little knowledge about zoonotic diseases, and especially the education sector were very interested, and so we decided then together with them to prepare this educational material for the schools so they can integrate in their programs a little bit about the zoonotic diseases, so at least children have heard about it, and also maybe talk with the parents that there are these risks, and also how to be good ownerships for their animals and mitigate these risks. And well, an activity that is currently going on in Presto is the painting of walls. So also it's a little bit more fun activity, and then it's something that is going to stay there and maybe like remind people that of the project, and that there are these well, that they have to take care for the conservation. That's one of the main topics of the walls. And yeah, I think that those are the things we did with and for the community, like to show the results of our study.
Great, thank you. I want to comment something because sometimes when we working with authorities or even with the communities, sometimes the people expect that we gave the solution, and that is not easy because we don't have the right solution. And I think we need to work more because I think it's also we need to an evolution a process. Because we need to try to work with the communities and create the culture that we have to work together for solutions and for strategies. But that is not easy because sometimes the people don't have too much time to extra activities, or the authorities are not, this is not a priority. So sometimes it's quite difficult, but I think it's a process, and I think we work very much on that aspect. I don't know if someone want to add something. Denise?
Yes, in relation to the surprises that we faced, were not on our control. Like, for example, timing of the research. When we participate in a research, we have a timing constraint, but sometimes for the communities that time is not correct. I mean, you have to face in Brazil, during the research phase, the interviews, and we faced dengue epidemics. So the people were more concerned about what was happening in the community than in reality discussing the project and thinking. So that's one of our surprises, but not under our control. And the second is also because we worked with remote communities. The climate conditions sometimes didn't help us. Like floods and blockage of roads to have access to the communities also makes us present some difficulties, but again, it's not under our control. So this was two important surprises that we faced. And in relation to the participation of the community and the results, I think the results were really important for the community when they received these educational materials. It will be a very important tool also to join two areas that are not so close or not working together so close, like education and health professionals. So these materials gave this opportunity for them to use mixed and also bring them together. Okay, that's our important contribution from our research. Thank you.
Very interesting. Thank you.
From Chile. The principal thing we don't expect was the rapid urbanization and reduction the wildlife habitat that also generate urban-rural conflict. And the principal problem are the sylvester dogs, and that was not expected. The dogs are abandoned in the field. They attack communities and wildlife. That's a big problem. And we have in the period wanted to grow the new law to control this, but don't prosper in Chile because animalistic groups stop it. And other problem, important problem we don't expect was the distrust. Distrust affect the groups we can interview because we can pursue the child and interview the child because the parents don't give permission for interview little child. That is the biggest problem in the field work. And this is what we don't expect.
Also very important learning, I imagine. Thanks. I have here a raised hand by Carlos Vasquez. If you want to add something or say something, please go ahead. Or maybe the hand was raised by accident. You can also, if you cannot mute or unmute yourself, you can also just post your question or comment in the chat. And there is a question in the chat regarding the board games and the pro games. And Denise already replied that the materials can be shared. All right. Do we have other questions? I don't see anything yet in the chat. I don't know, Maria Teresa or anyone from the presenters, if you would like to add any further key message or information. Yes, otherwise we can, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to mention some closing remarks. But before, I want to let you know that the idea is that all the material is going to be available by free. That is the idea, that we can use and adapt. So we are going to share also with the Alliance so we can disseminate the material and all the work to all the world. So like final closing remarks, I want to emphasize some of the project's contributions First, I want to highlight the community and participative approach. It was not easy, but I think we did a great job. Thank you for all the teams. Because this implies considering the community's need, respecting the rights, and understanding also their history, context, and dynamics, such as the times and the social rules. As Marcia mentioned, there are a lot of patience and flexibility. That is really important. Likewise, the project highly value education as an engine of change that can bring positive societal change. And finally, the project team's predisposition to learn from communities and other disciplines is very important. I think we learned from each other a lot in this project, and it is really valuable. In this end, we consider ourselves moving forward to the vision of One Health. It implies mobilizing sectors and disciplines with communities at different levels, articulating collaboration, coordination, communication, and capacity building in favor of environmental, animal, and human well-being. Thank you. I think this is the last message for the project.
Perfect. Famous last words, Maria Teresa. Thank you so much for wrapping up. There's nothing else I can add to that other than well done, everyone. Great project. It's been really great for the Alliance to work together with you. Thank you also so much, Caroline, for doing all the screen sharing and organizing of this event. And I wish everybody here a wonderful afternoon or remaining day if it's morning in your time zone. And yeah, stay tuned for further events of the Alliance.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this space.
Have a great time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.